Welcome to the Power Mom Minute. I'm your host, Stephanie Eugene McCartney, and I'm a modern-day business mama who believes you can have it all. This podcast is all about going behind the scenes of the lives and businesses of successful moms in business in order to uncover the daily rituals, life lessons, real-life tactics, and favorite tools that you as a mom can use to apply to your daily life and business. It is my mission to educate, empower, and inspire moms like yourself to build your dream business while having the freedom and flexibility to enjoy life to the fullest. Power Moms, it's time to rule the world. Now let's get started. Welcome back to the Power Mom Minute podcast. This is episode 18 and part 2 of my interview with Jessie Draper. If you missed part 1, hit pause, go back to episode 17 and take a listen. For those of you who don't know Jessie, she is a badass mom. She's a mom of 2 and also the founder of Halogen Ventures, which is a venture capital firm based here in Los Angeles. In part 1, we talked all about her behind the scenes of how she makes it work, balancing her career and her home life. And now, diving into part 2, we go into more wellness and self-care. We talk all about Jessie's morning routine, her favorite products and service, and what she does to nourish herself. After Jessie had her second kid, she had a bit of a health scare that pushed her into really prioritizing her health. I know for us mamas, sometimes we overlook our needs in order to accommodate our kids. So grab your cold cup of coffee and tune in this week. I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm curious, what do you do for yourself daily that's just for you? Like something just to fill yourself up.
Yeah, it's so funny. I think I'm trying to find that. I just had a conversation with my husband, full disclosure, after a overwhelmed meltdown, which happens on occasion with being a mom.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to find something for you. I'm like, I know, but I don't know what that is, you know? And my husband's so good at saying like, I'm going golfing and just going golfing. And I'm like, for 6 hours on a Saturday. And like, one, I hate golf. It's like the worst sport of all time because it's just like avoiding children. Like it's just the worst. But
I make Mike take Chase now. I'm
it's like he just leaves and then I'm like, okay, cool. How come he feels the confidence and like okay with a Saturday and just leaving for 6 hours? And I think for me, I protect my weekends. I really try not to work on the weekends. I'm all in with my kids, but I'm like, why can't I just take an hour to go hiking or whatever? I mean, I love hiking. And yeah, I had after the second kid, and I'd be curious how all the moms out there feel and how you felt, but one kid, it's sort of like, you hand them off to the other parent. I have to go do this. I have to go do this. And you hand the kid back and forth. 2 kids, especially for men, it's like loss of freedom. And they're like, oh my God, I have no freedom now. I have to take care of 2 children every time I'm home. And it's not so easy anymore. Like I really have to be on all of the time. And that truly, 2 kids, I think, truly brought me to my knees. And my husband and I went through a real, like, just ups and downs. You know, also lack of sleep is something to take into account. But we went on a vacation, which I feel like I never get those vacations. And I was so excited to get there. Like my parents were going to be there. And I was like, I just have to I could like see it in the horizon. I'm like, I just have to get through this week and then I'm going on vacation. And so vacation you'd think would be like the most relaxing or what have you.
Not when you're 24/7 with 2 kids.
Oh.
It is not relaxing. No matter how much family you have with you, it is
not at all. And so I had a 3-month-old, so I wasn't sleeping. And then I had my toddler and then my husband was doing work trips. So he luckily had just flown in this particular night because it was on the weekend, but in about 24 hours, it was just like a whole bunch of weird things. First, my kid went down the slide and like broke one of my fingers. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like my finger's broken. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to hop in the ocean. Like I haven't done that in years. Like I'm in the ocean. I like hop in the ocean, literally hop, tear my calf in 2. It pops. So then I can't walk. And then my husband comes back and I go to sleep that night. I'm so tired and I wake up, I'm on crutches. It was like 100 degrees, 100% humidity, like just to give like a sort of like perception of this vacation, but it was just a hot day. And then I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and I wake up and I just pass out. It's like I was literally just going to the bathroom or something. And my husband found me just like couldn't come to, was out.
Did
Like
you just like
wasn't
faint or did you?
fainted, but they couldn't resuscitate me or whatever.
What?
So I'm like emergency evacuated, like,
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
it was crazy. And, in the moment, you never know what's going on and you don't know what's wrong and whatever. But about a week later, after like I was hydrated and a million other things, I was like, I just like wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't even
Mm.
drinking water. I was
Were
taking
you
care of
breastfeeding too?
I was
Oh
breastfeeding.
God.
I was, you're just, it was
Mhm.
like I hit a wall and you forget to take care of yourself with a baby.
Right.
And so now, when you ask what I do for myself every day, like I hit a wall and I was like, I need to start being a little selfish. Like it's okay if my kid cries in the morning for a minute.
And
And
it's not selfish, by the way. It's not selfish when you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. It's not selfish. Just
totally. I like let my kid cry now in the morning and I make sure that I've gone to the bathroom, I've brushed my teeth and washed my face, and I drink like, 17, whatever, like a whole bunch
yeah.
of water, basically, like 2 cups of water. And so now those are the 3 things that I make sure that I've done, which is like, now that I think about it, kind of sad if I'm like, yeah, I drink water and I go to the bathroom, but I just make sure that I'm taken care of in the morning
Mhm.
so that I can start my day. And then like, I'm like, am I okay? Am I hydrated? Okay, I can go get my kids now because I think I wasn't even doing those basic human needs before. And so I think it's like everyone has that kind of come to Jesus moment, which I think I just had a real come to Jesus moment. Also, like not so fun taking care of a 3 month old with no leg. It was like
Oh,
the worst. But I got a knee scooter. So if that
and no
happens to
finger
anyone,
too.
knee scooter, like life changing.
Oh
Just
my goodness. So would you say that's kind of your morning ritual? Like the first 20 minutes of your morning, like the minute you wake up, what does that look like?
the first 20 minutes of my morning, yes. My son Phoenix, even though we got him that little green light that turns on and he's supposed to wait
Oh,
in
it
there till the
doesn't
green
work.
light turns on, he doesn't. He comes in, he peels my eyelids open and he's like, Mommy, I want a smoothie. These 3 friends are coming over. We're going to do this and it's going to be a pool party. And I'm like, okay, so that's not what's happening today. But let me wake up. And so then I tell him to go get dressed, and then I usually like have a couple minutes, and he'll sometimes be in like just in attendance and just kind of around me while I do it. But I'm like, I'm doing my thing, I'm drinking my water, I'm going to the bathroom, and then I get up my other son because he's still in a crib and to change his diaper and help him with everything, and then I cook a full breakfast. Like I'm up from
Whoa.
like I spend 6 to 8 a.m. with my kids every day if I can, sometimes 6 to 7:30. My kids, I feel like I spoil them so much because they'll be like, I want bacon and eggs in the morning, and I'll do truly bacon and eggs. Usually we do a smoothie that I just make the night before so that they can grab it if I'm not awake, and then they get something in them so they're not screaming at me. And then I'll kind of like cook eggs, and I need eggs too. I'm like such an like breakfast person. It's my only meal. If I have to miss every other meal, it's like I'll just eat a huge breakfast. And so I'll do bacon and eggs or sausage and eggs for them, which sounds crazy. And I'm sorry to all the moms out there. I'm not trying to make you do more work. Don't like that's my time with my kids. So like that's how I look at it. And then our nanny comes, a 7:30 or 8. It depends what day. And then I'm usually like on calls maybe from home or like in the car. But I try to kind of get out the door. Sometimes, like as any working mom knows, like do have to work from home on occasion. And those days are so tough because like the kids are screaming and is screaming at you or want your attention or what have you. So I'm trying now to, even if I don't have a meeting at 8 or 8:30 or whatever, I try to just like be out the door so that I'm being productive because those are my work hours. So that's kind of like my morning ritual. I mean, it's really just like survival with the kids, get them fed. I keep thinking, do you guys do this I'm like, I want to lay out my clothes like I did when I was
Oh.
a little kid, and I never do it. Like on a Sunday, I want to like make a cute outfit for every day. Never
Hey,
happens.
I want a meal plan. It's a fantasy of mine. I'm like, I want a meal plan and I want to lay out my clothes. The problem is I mean, Chase is kind of like Phoenix in which they're very independent. And so Chase has to dress himself. Like, and he usually bases it off of Mike's wardrobe now, which is even weirder. So he'll like come in the bathroom, and thank God he doesn't like to wake me up, but he goes in the bathroom when Mike's showering, and he'll wait, and then he's like, Daddy, what are you wearing? And if like Mike's in like black pants, he'll put on black pants. And Mike's like, you do realize, Chase, that Daddy wears not like exciting clothes to work every day. It's like, you know, the tech outfit, it's like gray, black, or blue, black. Like it's really just boring. And so Chase will literally match his outfit. I am so terrible. I am like the most disorganized person in the morning because I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
So if I like even can get out of bed like and out of pajamas by like 7:30, it's a miracle. I'm usually in pajamas but at 7:30 still while doing breakfast and things. But
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
lay out my clothes, and I'm indecisive too. So I'm like, it just depends on how I feel that day. Like, do I feel like wearing bright colors or yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
should simplify
indecisive.
though.
It's like, I feel that I'm indecisive and I'm tired. I'm not awake yet.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
exactly.
oh, this feels like, yeah, I've been trying to like, how do we become more decisive? Because I feel like we should just pick an
Mhm.
outfit and move forward.
Like the Steve Jobs thing, like,
Yeah.
you know, minimal decisions. And that's what they say. Like when you have kids, like make Tuesday like taco night, just make things
Oh,
like an order. So that way, like, and have a capsule wardrobe and all of these fantasy things that I wish I could do, but yeah, I can't.
I'm big on jeans and a blazer. And it
Mm,
doesn't really matter to me if I'm wearing a pajama shirt or like a t-shirt underneath the blazer. Like I feel like I'm dressed as long as I have a
yeah.
blazer and jeans on. And then it's like, luckily there is some weird style right now. Maybe I think there is, and I'm just like not cued in. But like I do think you could wear a t-shirt with a blazer. You can wear a button down with a
Yeah.
blazer. You can wear whatever.
That is a pretty staple right now. Right now, being pregnant, I can't really do that. But so I'm like, what actually fits right now? But I feel like when I'm traveling, though, I'm so much more efficient. Like,
Yeah.
well, one, my kids aren't there, but like I pack like exactly. I'm like multi-use outfits, mix and match. I'm so good at packing and so good at work travel.
And bringing
Terrible at
nothing.
home.
You can
Yeah.
bring nothing. It's like, this is the outfit.
Exactly. So I don't know. That's one thing I need to work on too, is just I think efficiency.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a male thing, but like I feel like my husband's really efficient with that, like with his breakfast, with everything. Like
Yeah.
he's really efficient at things and he's always on time. I'm terrible at being on time.
We're both sort of on time. What I hate is like men always want to shower at the last minute. And I'm like, it would just make me feel better if I could be the one last to shower, you know? Like he's like, oh, I have to shower. I'm like, we're supposed to leave right now. Why didn't you shower 2 hours ago? You know, like I just got the kids ready, did all this stuff, and now I have to shower. But
Yeah. So I was going to ask, do you have any favorite like apps or, well, you said your book, so we're going to have to get that book. Any programs, any things that like help you in life right now? Like whether it's some of my friends say, I actually use a sauna in my family life, you know, for work and family because it keeps everyone on the same page and kind of like the whole book, you can assign tasks and it's not like it's your ownership. Do you have any favorite like resources right now, whether it be, you know, meal delivery to apps to anything that helps you be more efficient in life?
so I mean, this is going to be like shameless plugs, but they do help me. We have a company called Weelicious that
I
is
love them.
yes, they're great. And she has this one potato meal delivery service for families. So it's sort of like one meal. And she's coming out with lunches. And she just came out with this great smoothie book. Her name's Catherine McCord, and she's amazing. And actually, she literally just came out with this smoothie book. And I've been trying to make a smoothie every day where I was always making them for my kids because it's just efficient to get food in them in the morning. But then now it's like my husband and I are making them too because she makes them very healthy and you're like, this could be my breakfast, you know?
Oh,
And so we have that. And then just things for all the moms out there. I mean, it's so hard to get to the salon. It's so hard to get, do anything for yourself. Work with Glam Squad, and I think a lot of people don't know they do nails. They'll come to your house if you
they
need like,
do?
yeah, they'll do nails and they'll come to your
Wow.
house. So like 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, I'll be like, oh, I just want to get my nails done. And it's like I always think salons should open earlier or something, They don't. They do work hours and it's like no one can squeeze it in during work hours. And so that's something I do, I guess, for myself. It's kind of messed up, but it's like the beauty regimens get really like the shaft. And then, yeah. And then what else? I mean, yeah, the Fair Play book you guys have to read. It's brand new. And I have no tie to this book. I just am obsessed with how she broke it down for families and makes it kind of fair. It's literally fair play. And then I'm trying to think of like what I'm reading right now, but I'd say
Do you have time to read, or are you an Audible person?
I do read a lot because on planes,
Oh
I'll be
yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to give myself like the first hour or whatever and just like read something. So I just read the Harvey Weinstein sexual harassment thing, Ronan Farrow's Catch and Kill, which I highly recommend. It was just wild and crazy to understand how the media is so controlled by like 5 men. But really quick read if you need something. I don't know, but that's not necessarily helpful to moms, but you should read it anyway. But I try to read a lot or at least like skim a lot. And I mean, I don't have all the answers. I think we're all just figuring it out. Like I have a lot of questions for all you moms out there, honestly. But yeah, I think those, and then I'd say smoothies are my like godsend. I basically just, we make like 4 smoothies a night. So we have 2 in the morning and then 2 for like a snack in the afternoon. And then I can just grab them and give them to the kids. And it's cheaper than buying all the packets. And, and our kids will consume them. I feel like sometimes our kids are picky eaters and like won't eat certain things or
Do you
whatever.
put veggies in yours?
Yes, my kids think that they're supposed to be green but they don't know that that's what spinach like actually tastes like, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So final 2 questions. What is one piece of advice you'd give to the pre-mom you? So to all the non-moms out there or the ones who want to have kids about also like working and work-life balance and all of that, if you could turn back time and give advice to pre-mom Jessie, what would you tell her?
I tell her to have a whole lot of fun because things change dramatically after you have children. But I definitely had a lot of fun before I had kids. I think just in terms of like my 20s. Oh, my 20s. Oh, that's so freeing. But like live a free life. And also just in terms of career, focus, because I think I felt like I had to do a million things. And it didn't become clear to me till after I was a mom that like there were a lot of unnecessary things I was filling my time with, whether it be like a meeting with someone that didn't like move the business forward in some way, or, you just kind of fill your time versus being like, what are my priorities for the week? And what am I trying to accomplish this week? And hone in on those, like focus more.
Mhm.
But I also think when you're younger, you're like,
Try everything.
trying everything. So I
Right.
think you do need a little of that, but I think I was definitely less focused.
Okay. And then what do you think your mom's superpower is? So what is your mom's superpower that makes you a better mom in business? So something that you acquired once you became a mom that maybe you didn't have before, but now that helps you out in business.
My superpower, negotiation.
Ooh.
I am a master negotiator. That's like a big claim. Like that actually came off very much stronger than I anticipated. But I've realized that it's translated into my children, and it actually came back. Like my kids negotiate better than I do, and I know they learned that from me. And so it's given me a lot more confidence in my negotiating skills. Where with your kids, you're like, how do I save time and negotiate this and just win in the beginning? I'm trying to think of an example. Like my son will say something like, can I have a popsicle? And I'll say no. And then 5 minutes later, I'll be like, okay, cool. Can you go clean your room? And he'll be like, and then I can have a popsicle. And I'm like, how you just, that was good, And he just thinks ahead in how can he get what he wants. And I know that's because I'm thinking that way. And I think in work, I just wasn't aware that that's what I was doing before. And now I feel like I can jump to the end and like pin people in a corner and get what we need for a business much more quickly.
Oh, I like that.
So I think negotiation, you learn so much about negotiation from your kids because it's all about negotiation.
It really is. It's like a constant battle. I always say I'm negotiating with a terrorist when I
Yeah.
talk to my toddlers.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how is this possible? Like, and how are you winning too? Like sometimes I'm like, what just happened?
You
I
thought
know.
I thought I said no.
No, mommy just caved because I just didn't want to hear it anymore. But yeah, no, that's a good skill. So I actually forgot to ask. So I was going to close this, but I wanted to ask you one last question. Do you have board meetings then with your own family? Since you kind of grew up and you said like things were a board meeting, I was curious because at preschool we learned about having like family meetings, which kind of sounds like a board meeting where you actually ask your toddler these things and like get their opinion so they feel bought into the family. I was curious,
Yeah.
translating from your past, do you have board meetings?
We do. We have family dinners and we have family discussions. I think my older son, he's still 4. So he's kind of learning. He's able to participate a little more. My younger son isn't quite there, but I
Yeah.
see us getting there where, yeah, and now my son feels like the confidence to come up with ideas for the house. Like, mommy, when the vase broke, I I thought, oh, instead of a vase, we could put a Lego there, and it's like, okay, good. I'm glad you're like confident that you can solve this problem and have say in our household, whether it's about Legos and broken vases or whatever. I think it is important. And there's this whole idea around like the family meal. I mean, that's a very grounding thing to a child I've read a lot about. And so I hope that we can encompass that. And I worry about all the screens, everyone
Yeah.
has screens all the time. And so I try to like be like, no TVs, no phones, let's sit down and have a discussion. How was your day at school? And then my husband will always like have a little golf game on some iPad in the corner. And I'm like, no, everything's off. We are talking to our children.
Oh, mine is Twitter. Twitter's the bane of my existence.
Twitter and golf.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, our husbands kind of like the same thing. So
Yeah.
I'm always like, Mike, I feel like Twitter is like that girlfriend you're like cheating with or something. Like I can see it. I'm like, I know what it looks like. I see you at the dinner table with it. Put it away. And he's like, you're always on your phone too. I'm like, no, I'm not at dinner.
I know,
Twitter and golf. Yeah.
we do. We have family board meetings. I think
Okay.
those will become more and more important as the kids get older. I don't know how all of you feel, but yeah, it's important to find that family time. And for us, it might not be every night, like I definitely try to do it a couple times over the weekends and hopefully like 1 or 2 nights during the week. But I don't know. I just feel like life has gotten busier and busier. And maybe it's just like this current time, but it's like we have so many ways to communicate, so many things to do. It's really important we slow down for our kids when we're with our kids and try and compartmentalize like all of the anxieties of the world while we raise these children of the future who will take care of us and, fix all of the world's problems and cure global warming and whatever. But I think we all need to take a step back and slow down with our kids. So those family meetings, I believe, are incredibly important.
I love that. So where can we find you?
halogenvc.com, and I'm on Instagram at Jessie C. Draper, and I'm very vocal as an imperfect mom on Instagram. And I do feel like that's where I vent, and I'm like, I failed as a mom today, because I think everyone's posting all these pretty perfect things, and it's not real. We're all just figuring it out, and no one's perfect, and no one's life looks like so Instagram filtered.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I loved our conversation. And yes, I'm going to have to check out all those books. So thank you, Jessie.
Yes, thank you for having me. And, to all of your listeners, like, I'm glad you're listening. You have a great mama leading the way here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Power Mom Minute podcast. Your support means the absolute world to me. You can find the show notes for the episode and other goodies over at powermomminute.com. And if you enjoyed this episode or have gotten value from the podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could head on over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review so that we can reach and empower more moms all over the world together. Each week, I will be reading some of those reviews on air, so stay tuned and you might just hear yours. Thank you so much again, beautiful mamas, and I'll see you here next time.